this is going to be quite a common theme.
Yes.
And this is something that actually happens almost weekly in China. And it's actually pretty heartbreaking because what happens here is this particular group of people all paid for houses to be built, and they were never built.
Yeah.
Not never completed, just never built.
Yeah, so this was like a huge unit area, and it was called the Binhai Evergrande Cultural and Tourism City. It was one of those things that was supposed to be the next big thing and pump millions and millions and millions of dollars into this area. People are going to come from everywhere, invest in the properties, and then tourism will blow up.
Yeah.
Well, that didn't happen.
No, it didn't happen. And the problem is this wipes out like 2 generations worth of wealth every time.
Yeah.
Because you borrow from your parents and your grandparents and your uncles and your cousins and everything to put down the deposit and to buy these apartments. And they never get finished or they never get built.
True.
And the only thing people can do is go and stand out there and demand their rights, which unfortunately in China never results in anything. Ever.
It results in you going to jail.
Yeah, it usually results in them bringing in the goon squad and rounding you up. But this is a common thing you're going to see over this week.
Let's just say the government doesn't like when people do this.
No, this is never encouraged.
But people are willing to even throw away their lives for this because it's their entire life savings.
Correct.
Right.
I mean, they've lost everything.
Yeah.
You'll also notice that they're using handwritten signs.
You will.
And there's a reason why
You will notice it.
Yeah, the reason why, the reason why people use handwritten signs is if you were to go and get them printed, you could get reported.
Correct.
You know,
so when
'cause-
you see a handwritten one, you know this is a genuine thing.
Yeah,
that
because
the government doesn't want.
here's the thing. If you go to an they're called guanggao shops, little advertising shops, the places where you can print banners, they're scattered all over China.
Yeah,
But, of course, when you go to get something made, you're going to have to produce your ID anyway.
for sure.
So if you're printing something that sounds seditious or something that sounds like it could be related to a protest,
Yeah.
the shop owner has to notify the authorities.
Yeah,
And if he doesn't, he could get into trouble if they trace it back
for
to
sure.
his shop.
For sure.
He'd go to jail.
Yeah.
So that's why handwritten signs means, they were too scared to get
sure.
it printed. 我们要房子. We want houses,
They didn't get them.
Yep. Just giving them their moment in the sun. Yep. Anyway, the problem is, again, in most countries, you wouldn't have to worry about this kind of thing happening. You would have legal repercussions, but in China, you just don't.
Yeah.
That's the problem. You don't have legal repercussions. No. And the absurd thing is that there's how many millions of empty houses that are not occupied anyway.
Yeah.
And yet people are still paying for new ones to be built. It's crazy.
There could be up to 1 billion
Yes.
empty houses in China.
Yeah.
Which is insane. It's like there's an extra house for like every person.
Yeah.
But it's such unreliable data. It's impossible to know. But there is definitely a surplus of empty shell husk houses in China.
Yeah, it's unnecessary to be building all these new ones. It's just because it's such a crazy money-grabbing scheme.
Yeah.
Anyway, just indicative, this also happened this last week. And this is part of the problem. Here you've got construction workers kowtowing to their bosses, and what he's basically saying is, please give me my wages. So they haven't been paid. So this is what leads to these situations where you just don't have houses being built because the money's dried up, the investment money's dried up, the workers aren't being paid, the houses aren't being completed, so it's kind of a knock-on effect,
Yeah.
It's pretty bad for everyone all around. September the 19th in Hebei, Zhangjiakou in China.
Zhangjiakou in Hebei, it's a big city, very polluted city. Unbelievably polluted city.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they didn't get that nice breeze to rip through and
Clear it out, yeah.
that pollution, because what they were dealing with was a massive, huge case of the local government there embezzling the citizens' real estate money. So they invested in real estate, and the government took it.
Yeah.
So the people, again, losing everything they have. Remember, there's no stable investment in China other than property.
Yes.
That's all you do. So when you put your life savings and your kids' life savings and your parents' life savings into property, and then you don't get that property, you've lost it all.
Yeah, it's pretty awful. And so the thing is, the only thing people can do is kowtow.
Yeah.
Which it's a horrifying scene. I hate to see it, and I've seen it in China a lot. Is that the Chinese citizens are helpless. Okay,
Yeah.
they can't go out there and demand their rights. They have to go out there and beg.
There's no rights.
Yeah, exactly.
There are no rights,
Yeah,
so.
so they have to go out there and beg and kowtow. You know, so they'll kowtow to the local officials. They'll kowtow to the police. They'll kowtow to the property developers. You know.
I just like this to be a wake-up call for people that, maybe don't support authoritarian governments, but they go, well, at least they get stuff done. Well, at what sacrifice? To what end, right? Well, you can have great mega projects that look really good in propaganda that aren't useful in daily life, and then sacrifice all your rights to lose everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? This is not a system of envy.
No, absolutely not. Good point. Yeah, what's happening next? Sky, man. Sky don't lie. Look at that.
It's pretty different. It's one of the most polluted cities in China.
Yeah, I've never been to that particular city.
Hebei in general is just very...
I've been to Hebei.
Yeah. Anyway,
All right, guys, you just gonna sit
let's
there.
give someone else their time in the sun.
Yeah, let's move on. These guys are just gonna sit there.
He's a very
Probably
special
still
character.
sitting there today. Oh yes.
So
So
this guy was part of it. We wanted to highlight him.
So, of course, everybody who has a stake in this, has had their money stolen, is going to hang out over here at the government building.
So, yeah, but I want to preface this. Here.
Yes, something went a bit wrong.
The problem is a lot of these people have filters like default on.
Yes,
So-
filters on their phone.
on their phone. So like they'll be taking a serious video. They could get them into massive trouble in China, by the way, because they're showing protest, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then sharing that is proliferating unrest, which is a huge crime in
Yes.
China. But they they forget to turn off said filter.
Yes.
And so you get these people that are sitting here
With a
we like
shark filter on it.
everyone, please like the stream
Yeah.
or like this video if you love Shark Man, because we
Yes.
did not add this.
No, this is
This isn't a protest
Yeah, it's a
video.
protest video. They're like, this is the most serious thing. We've lost all our life savings. It's like, shark, man, shark.
So inappropriate.
And if you wait for it, see the other guy squatting in white? Yeah, he gets sharked too.
He gets sharked
He's
as
sharked
well.
as well.
He gets the red shark. It looks like that shark from Finding Nemo, but red.
Yes, it does.
And there's like two little sharks on.
I know.
What even is that filter?
It doesn't make sense.
It's like a shit mess.
It's a real bad filter. That's
like,
all I can say.
It's like bad cutout clip art.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Anyway, we love Shark Man.
Yeah, Shark Man.
Shark Man participating in said protest.
Yeah, now at the top of these stairs, you probably saw in an earlier clip, there's a lot of plainclothes policemen basically stopping them from getting close to the government building. So they have to sit on the steps. Xuchang in Henan, China.
Yeah.
And what happened there?
Weekend review, not concluding, I guess. Xuchang in Henan. Home buyers organized a protest, but this one's interesting.
Yeah.
This is a good example of what you can see after the protest kicked off.
Yes.
They sent out a whole slew of what they call now in China, which is very interesting, stability maintenance forces.
Yes.
Which are literally cops to stop people from complaining.
Yeah.
And then disappear them.
Look how many they sent out.
Yeah.
And I just want to go back to that because, again, this is one of those projects that was never finished.
Yeah.
So they call them rotten tail projects.
Yeah.
And you buy a house, the construction starts, They start building. They get to a certain point, then they run out of money, or they steal the money, embezzle it, whatever.
Yes.
And so then they can't pay the workers, and then everything grinds to a halt.
Yeah.
But the problem is, you, as the purchaser, are still paying a monthly mortgage.
Yes.
So can you imagine that you bought this house, you've started to pay it off already?
Can't live in it.
Yeah, you can't go on. You can't even get into the property. They won't allow you
Sometimes
to go up
it's
there.
not even doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly. You can't live in it. You can't move in. There's no progress for months and months. Nobody's reached out to tell you anything about it. But you're paying every month for this useless.
Reach out and touch, fake.
Exactly. And then what happens? Well, you complain. Nobody responds. You try to bring it up with the authorities. Nobody cares. So you go and you organize a protest with your fellow homebuyers because, it's not only you.
It's not your homies.
Yeah, exactly. There's going to be at least another 20, 30, 40, 100, 200 people, 300, 1,000
More like
people.
not your fellow homies, your fellow homeless.
Yeah, fellow homeless, yeah. And all these other people want to get together and go and protest and say, give us our homes, finish the homes. We paid for them. Where are they? And so what they do is rather than actually fix it, they send in literally what looks like 100 plus, not armed, but 100 plus enforcement people here.
Yeah, because that wasn't the only line.
Yeah, there's others. You can see the others here with the coming in with the black uniforms.
Stability maintenance forces, get it right.
Yeah, stability maintenance forces. They're sending them all in there to suppress the people and to just shut the protest down.
A little insight into Chinese too is that the reason that they're trying to kind of make this sound better, not just like riot control or something.
Yeah.
Stability maintenance forces makes people think that, okay, well, that's justified because the whole thing is that China must be stable before anything else.
Yes.
We are an authoritarian country and we sacrifice all our rights because we're allowed to have money and we're stable.
Yes.
So if you can do anything for justification for that, right?
Sure.
You just send in the stability maintenance forces. Does that not sound like 1984?
It does. Absolutely. It's really bad. It's really
that.
fucking bad.
It's that.
Sorry for my language. But yeah, it's really, really bad.
You said frickin'.
I said freaking bad. Yeah, it's really freaking
Give
bad.
it a soundbite and wash it away.
No, it's fine. We could just continue.
You got a cool soundbite.
Okay, I'll give us a soundbite. I'll give us a...
That doesn't wash anything away.
No, it doesn't. You're
That was
right.
a bad taste in my mouth.
It does. Anyway, so just so everybody knows, in this last week, we've shown you multiple instances of people losing their money because of their real estate purchases in the housing market, and they're protesting, and it's being suppressed.
Yes.
This happens weekly, but this week we've seen a lot of it.
Yes.
So we just wanted to point that out. This is kind of funny. They're doing a propaganda shoot.
Yes.
And they want to show that these
bicycle
cops are doing a great job and they're really exerting themselves. They're hao xingku. How do you say that in English, really?
Like they suffer.
They suffer, they have to suffer to protect the people. So they're putting water on their backs to make it look like they've been sweating, like fake sweat.
They literally have a pan of water.
Yeah.
A pot of water to make it look like they're sweating.
Because, it'll be kind of hard to find that naturally. You know what I'm saying? You know what I really hate?
What?
It's like traditional culture. I'm serious.
I don't give an absolute shit about Marvel and DC.
I hate people that can't walk straight.
I hate the judges on America's Got Talent.
Street performers piss me off. I'm not the CCP. I just don't like traditional music.
I have an irrational hatred for airbrush art.
I hate white dudes playing PVC pipe didgeridoos. And there's like a dude who thinks he's cool with this freaking PVC pipe. It sounds kind of crappy. You look like a tool. You're carrying around plumbing equipment, okay?
When I close my eyes, I can almost see it. When I take a breath, you fill up my lungs. And if my mind